I'm Carolyn Wells. I am the Executive Director of the Kansas City Barbecue Society, world's largest organization of barbecue and grilling enthusiasts, and one of its co-founders. The other founders were Gary Wells, my late husband, and president from inception until 2006, I believe. And our friend Rick Welch, who is pursuing other avenues. So we were the three founders, and with committee people, willing participants, and a great deal of enthusiasm, a lot was accomplished with very little money. And we were. Gary unfortunately passed before our incredibly rapid growth rate began, but I like to think it's because of the work that he did and that I did that helped lay the foundation for our great growth spurt. The contributions of all the board members, committee members. Again, we had no money, but we had lots of energy, and we didn't know it couldn't be done. And that sense of community and of family was something that spread from person to person throughout the organization, and other people wanted to be a part of that. Gary was very much a benevolent dictator, but he did many great works. And he left a hole in the organization that was not easily filled. Tony Stone became president of the KCBS and served for 3 or 4 years, and brought a new dimension to the organization, which was the suggestion to add a marketing company. At the time, we engaged the marketing company, MMA Creative, from Nashville, Tennessee and Cookeville, Tennessee, and they figured out an innovative approach for growing membership and expanding our already growing programs. That worked very well, and happily they are still with us and have taken us, I believe, to a new dimension in that we've added the National Barbecue Tour. It's a sponsored tour that teaches and promotes barbecue and travels around the country to large festivals spreading the gospel of barbecue. They also were able to secure some national sponsors for this tour, and then that sponsorship also accrued to, in addition to the sponsors for the tour, we also started a new official program, and Sam's Club became the official supplier for KCBS. Along with that program, they added their own Sam's Club National Barbecue Tour, which is a closed series for KCBS members to compete in regional contests at various clubs around the country. Five different clubs from each regional, and then the regionals go on to the finals with a grand finale in Bentonville and a great send-off and a very large purse, and it's been incredibly well received. So competition barbecue is taking on a whole new face. It's expanding rapidly. It's become America's favorite pastime, and we're so blessed to be in this business at this point in time. When we started, there was no such thing as a rub. There was a spice blend, which evolved into the rub. Now you'll see those things on shelves in most grocery stores. Teams have started teaching cooking classes for competition, general cooking classes on barbecue. There's online blogs. There's they've evolved into restaurateurs, caterers, and barbecue is America's favorite food right now. It is America's cuisine, and we're glad if we've been able to push that forward a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot. So it's very humbling to see what barbecue has evolved into and how passionate the community remains. In addition, we have sister organizations like Cookers Care, which works with harvesters. That's our second harvest organization, delivering food on the local level, and that's expanding into other places. We have OBR, Operation Barbecue Relief, that feeds barbecue in disaster relief areas and to people who were victims of the disaster, and to the first responders. I also understand there's a member who has a restaurant called Mission Barbecue in the Maryland area, 3 of them actually, and those restaurants cater to veterans and have raised lots of money for wounded warriors and other related projects. So doing good while doing well, or doing good by doing well is how it was described, I think is part of the heart and soul of this organization, and something that we support highly. We try to do educational programs, particularly with children, Kids Q, middle schoolers, and young adults. And barbecue is even being used as a team-building exercise in corporate America. So we're starting to cover the whole gamut, and think it's a very exciting time. The number one reason people like food cooked on the grill is because it tastes better, and I think that we're living proof to that. Now, if we can just hold off on the cholesterol, we'll be fine. So that's where I see us going. I think the sport is still in its infancy, and it's expanding. It's a great way to showcase a community, to raise money for your charity. You've just got to find your own hook and give the event your own signature. I think we're starting to see what I call legacy contests that are, say, 20, 25 years old or older, that have so established themselves that they've become institutions, and that people look to them for advice and ideas. And usually those are willingly shared. Okay. A really exciting new program that we're entering into is our international outreach program. We have a team of 6, the Lomans, the Gages, and the Johnsons, who go to Europe and once beyond and teach cooking classes, judging classes, and we're now starting to have sanctioned barbecue contests abroad. The very first was the Tony Stone's Low and Slow contest in the Netherlands, and it's dedicated to Tony because it started the year that Tony passed, and it remains. I believe it had 72 teams this year. We're also doing contests in England. We're adding Puerto Rico. For 2014, we'll probably have South Africa and Northern Ireland, and Ireland as well. And we have our first master judge from Scotland. Quite an achievement for a place where we had no contests. So the IO team, the international growth is like KCBS on steroids 20 years ago. They are so enthusiastic, and they want so badly to compete and beat us in the States, and that's fine. It's all about the competition. It's all blind judging. So done fair and square, we have no problem about that, and we're going to make sure it's fair and square. But again, it's leveling the playing field so that they know that they can compete on our turf in equal terms and have the skills necessary to carry on that task without undue, well, that they know what a brisket is, that they know the layers of flavor in the flavors, in the flavor profile, that they understand the importance of the marriage of the smoke and the meat and the spice, that they're and that we're bringing along a whole new group of international judges as well. So we're working on a chapters or affiliates program so that these people can have their own organization and yet be affiliated with us, and we're welcoming them into the fold and trying to help them in any way we can. We're also exploring programs within the collegiate arena, such as intramurals and intercollegiate showdowns, if you will, or qualifiers, where we teach barbecue, we teach with community involvement from within volunteer organizations, for fraternities, sororities, and it's bringing, that's our next generation of cookers, and we want to keep spreading this sense of community, and again continuing to do good works for good people that need help, and to spread the gospel of barbecue and the spirit that it represents as America's cuisine. And now it's being mainstreamed internationally as well, so that's just another plus. We're networking with other food organizations. The International Culinary Congress this year is adding a smoke competition to their agenda, and we're fortunate to be involved with them. The ACF, American Culinary Federation, is having their national convention in Kansas City in 2014, and the focus of that national convention will be barbecue. So we're playing with the big boys and enjoying it, and hopefully still continuing to spread the good word and have a good time. As far as strategic moves, ultimately one of my goals is to see a National Barbecue Museum that honors not just Kansas City barbecue, but all barbecue. So you could have a Carolina's wing, we want to be global in perspective, but specifically pretty much American, since that's where it was perfected, and we would try to cover. We're acquiring a stable of sponsors to underwrite the museum, and it would be open to the public. It would be a monument, or not a monument, it would be a tribute to barbecue nationwide and even some points beyond. We don't want to make it Kansas City specific. We obviously do want to make it a part of that, and hopefully there'd be a way we could tie it in with the National Barbecue Hall of Fame. But that remains to be seen. To capture this part of Americana and the culture, I think would be a great thing, and it also feeds into other agricultural pursuits, farm to table, of buying local, of self-sufficiency, sustainability, growing better meats, fruits, and vegetables so that America can eat better, and paying tribute to barbecue as a cultural icon within the food world that crosses all socioeconomic, cultural barriers, and it is America's cuisine. It needs to be recognized as such.